Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. Um, as I've stated a few times before, on no updates, then I generally do not create these little sound bites. But this past week was very interesting, um, especially with the, that we had new training for the um, presumption of eligibility. I'm stuttering over my words just because I've only now had a chance to fully review all of the things that are coming up with the presumption of eligibility. You may have seen it on UI online, so forgive me if I'm telling you something that you already know. However, reading something does not mean for everyone that they fully grasp what's really going on. And I could tell that I really needed to study the training material extra hard because Thursday and Friday, I started to receive calls and people were asking, okay, we're hearing that you guys are able to give us partial benefits. We're reading that you can go ahead and release the payment. So let's clarify all of that right now. In the coming days, if you have not already received a form from EDD, I think it's a DE458, that's a new form for me. So if I have the numbers wrong, forgive me, but it'll basically say that you are eligible for conditional payment. The claim, if for claims that were filed like from January 2020 all the way up to 2021, a lot of people are in situations where they need a phone interview. On EDD side, we call them determination interviews. Now, you can be in this situation for a number of reasons, but most popular are because of the way you separated from your employer. If you were fired, was it misconduct? Was it attendance? Is the employer, um, is he saying, no, I'm not going to pay on this? Is he being a problem? So we will stop your payments, until we can get a more clear understanding, and then determine if you are eligible for benefits. If you have wages that you have not reported, I cannot stress this enough. We can see it. You guys have no idea how I can see all of 2020 wages, and I'll have the claimant on the phone, and I'll say, sir, madam, when was your last day work? Um, March, when all of this started, March of 2020. Yeah, I've been looking, but I can't find anything. And I'm looking at my screen, and I'm seeing two, three, sometimes it's just one different employers where this person has picked up jobs. And in some cases, they have gone back to work. And I'll ask them again, are you sure? Yes, okay. And then I check on my end, make sure that these employers add up, make sure the name is correct. And when I inform the claimant, and I usually do it a little something like, sir, I see wages in June, September, December of 2020. I will ask you again, when was your last day of work? Oh, no, that was just for like a week. Oh, that was temporary. You just, there's no pretty way to say it. You just lied to me. So I immediately stopped your benefits because not only did you just tell me an untruth on the phone, but all these weeks, all these months, you didn't say a word in your certification. Well, I don't know how. Question 6. Question 6, question 6A. There's no more to say about that. But anyway, back to the presumption of eligibility. I'm sorry, I get a little heated about that because there's so many people out here who need the benefits. And when I come across a person like that, yeah, then I'm shutting down everything. Okay, so here we go. You can't, when it comes to this conditional payment, and you receive, let's say you've gone back to work and you receive the form from us that's saying that you qualified for the conditional payment for all these weeks that you were not paid from EDD. Believe it or not, some people just give up, find a job, and don't want to deal with us ever again. But there are people like me who are like, you owe me some money, I want my money. But you cannot opt out of receiving the benefit because you certified for it. What EDD is saying that if you don't need the benefit, then do not spend the benefit. Because what's going to happen in a few months is once we start to clear these payments, these pending weeks, then EDD is going to go back. Because remember, that does not solve the issue. You still need a determination phone call. So if they deem that, no, you were not worthy to receive this benefit, then you're going to have to pay it back. That's where I'm not really on board with this conditional payment, because I feel like once you give me some money, it's mine, and I'm not giving it back. But that's not going to work. They will either disqualify you indefinitely. That means if you become unemployed 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to still have that disqualification from 2021. They also can create an overpayment for you, where say goodbye to federal and state taxes, because even if you don't make a payment arrangement with them, they will get their money. And yes, there are waivers available, but not everyone will be eligible for a waiver. I guess what I'm basically trying to say is do this at your own discretion. I know the need for money is urgent, but don't let that need for money right now get you into a whole lot of trouble a few months down the line. Um, I think it's kind of what it is, an unfair situation. This is an unfair situation, especially when claimants don't have the option to opt out of the of receiving the benefit. If you are in a situation where you don't have to tell me, but if you're in a situation where you've been overpaid and you're just sitting kind of waiting for the walls to cave in on you, just give us a call. Ask to speak to overpayment. Now, incredibly, the overpayment line is always open because no one wants to deal with them. So you call OP, ask them, do they see an overpayment? If they say yes, then just make up an arrangement. Don't come out big time Willie and start swinging. Oh, okay, well I can pay $500 a week. If you can pay that, then pay it. But if not, lowball them and then pay extra if you choose to. But as far as this presumption, we will start clearing those payments this week. Bear with us. We received the information last minute, and there are a lot of changes coming. Also, our old friend Pua, she's kicking and screaming. Yeah, there are a lot of people who were denied benefits in 2020 and very recently this year as well for poor benefits or who received disqualifications. They will receive their money. Oop, did I say that? Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to get their money because if all the federal benefits in the first week of September, we just got clearance to start filing pools and to start back paying all those pending weeks. Again, some people have over a year at this point waiting for this pool. If you do not have the financial records to back, to say, oh, well, this is what I made in 2019. Here my tax form. I am a self-employed individual, and this is how I filed my taxes. You take that money at your own risk. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, or I'm simply just being fully transparent with you guys on how personally I would feel. Or just a little warning. I mentioned earlier about stopping benefits. And I'm going to share something with you guys. EDD is not an easy place to work, not just during a pandemic, but in general. So the other day, I came across a young lady on the phone, and um, she was really nice, and we were talking, and I noticed that she had some benefits that were not reported. And while I'm talking to her, she sounded a little nasally, um, and she was saying that her baby wasn't feeling well either. And training told me, in my mind, I have to stop her benefits. She did not report this. I did not do it out of malice. I did it doing my job. What time I tell her that she's going to have a phone interview, she said, but ma'am, she broke out crying, but ma'am, I have to buy Pampers for my baby. And she said, ma'am, I have COVID, and my child does too. At that point, I heard the rattle in her chest, that mucus that I've spoken to her. We're trained to believe that they're not telling us the truth, but don't take it too far. Just listen, because some people's stories are a little bit more outrageous than others. But I heard that in her, and maybe I wasn't listening before, but she didn't say it. She didn't tell me, and not that if it had been one of those situations where she had all of this money from all 4 quarters of 2020 and I stopped it, but I stopped her payment for what I believe was like $600. And I immediately went into panic mode because I'd entered the note. Everything was done. Once you enter notes, you cannot erase them. And I'm like, oh my God. Needless to say, I felt like complete and utter crap. So I'm pacing in my living room, like, how can I help this lady? Um, so finally, I go through the proper channels and I reverse my decision. And I called her back like 2 hours later. And when she answered the phone, I called her from my personal cell phone number, which was blocked. And when she answered the phone, I could hear the weight of the world on this lady. And I told her who I was, and I was calling from EDD. And she said, yeah, I just hung up from them, and they said that I had to wait. I said, ma'am, I just want to offer you my most heartfelt apology. I did not mean to make your day any more stressful than it is. And I want you to know within 24 to 48 hours, your benefit will be on your EDD debit card, plus an additional week that you weren't paid that you hadn't noticed. She screamed. She was thanking God. She was so grateful. And I felt really well in my soul that I had compassion for her. And I'm telling you guys this because it's not like we all don't care. I go the extra mile. I am not only the specialist. I have to counsel. I have to critique. When young people call and they say, y'all owe me some money, well, what week? And I can tell, I know what week it is. And they don't know their weeks, and I have to give them lectures. Don't lose track of your money. This is what's going on. I make them write it down. Um, I'm mothering people. I'm stopping people from committing crimes, hopefully, telling them that that's not the way you want to go. Please, to anyone who is listening, it's not that we don't care. We are doing the very best that we can with what we have. And I also contacted my supervisor about the situation, and she called me and we talked. Next thing I know, I get this little, the state of California offers these little, well, not little, but these options to speak with psychiatrists, I think it is, if you're stressed out. I took that as an insult because you want to send me somewhere to talk to someone. I was shaken because I felt that I hurt someone at the worst possible time. I hurt this lady. I made her think that she wouldn't be able to take care of her child. She wouldn't be able to eat. She wouldn't be able to pay her bills. And yes, COVID, in all honesty, if it were not for her having COVID, I don't know if I would have taken it so hard. But the mistake was still mine because the pay that she reported should not have been scheduled. But I didn't find that out again until after it had all been done. Then she started telling me everything. And sometimes it goes like that. But I do what I can. And so many of my coworkers, we do what we can. So please bear with us. Um, that's all I have to say. And as soon as I know more about PUA, we have a few new things coming up. But see, they give us bits and pieces of it, and then they'll throw it on us with some instructions, and we have to figure it out. EDD for you. I hope that everyone has a great Sunday. If you have some more questions, if you need more details on the presumption of eligibility, please leave your questions here. I'm not working today. Those 60-hour weeks have gotten to me. I'm still doing them, but on the weekends, I just sit in my chair and watch soap operas. So today, I am sitting here with my laptop, phone, and everything all plugged up. If you guys have questions about this or need me to post anything showing all of the details, just let me know. But what I basically want you to take away from this is conditional. The operative word here is conditional. There's a chance that you still may have to pay this money back, and you're also not off the hook for your determination phone interview, okay? Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.